So many network marketers fall in love with a health and wellness product, and then they realize that there's an incredible opportunity to build the lifestyle and income of their dreams. But what happens when you get started and you run out of friends and family to talk to, and what you're doing on social media just isn't quite getting you where you want to be? Well, the truth is, it's probably not your fault. It just takes a little marketing know-how that you may not be getting from anywhere else. So on this podcast, I'm sharing with you the secrets that I've been able to learn from all of my top earner friends and mentors. I'm pulling back the curtain on exactly what it takes to get people excited about the wellness products that you have to offer, to help people improve their lives, and to get you to the rank that you want to be at. My name is Soraya Goddard, and this is Secrets to Marketing Your Wellness MLM. Hey friend, today we're talking about Instagram, but we're going to be talking about some high-level stuff, some really important stuff, probably the most important thing that I can talk to you about when it comes to Instagram. That sounded dramatic, but it really is. It really is. So as you know, or maybe you don't know, most of you know, I coach people on how to improve their social media, how to use social media to get their name and face out there, get their message out there, attract people to them, and ultimately make an offer and sell that offer to people, whether that be your product, your business opportunity, or some other thing that you're selling, maybe an affiliate marketing deal. And I think one of my talents, one of the things I'm really good at, is taking complex things and breaking them down into actionable advice so people can execute that advice and really get specific on it. But today I want to pull that picture out, and I want to talk about 4 key things you can do to troubleshoot your Instagram. Like, I can give you all the hashtag advice. I can give you all the picture taking advice. I can give you all the caption writing advice. I can give you all the content creation strategies and ideas. But if you don't have these 4 things that I'm going to talk about today down, and if you don't feel them, I don't mean to be too dramatic, but like if you don't feel them in your soul and you aren't super clear on these 4 things, then all of the other stuff doesn't matter. How's that for an opening to this information? Look, I coach people in group settings. I've done a lot of coaching in the past in one-on-one settings on this specific topic. And it is so important. It is so important. It is easy sometimes if you're newer to Instagram, or maybe you're just not seeing the success that you want to see on Instagram, to dive into all the things that I just talked about before. Oh, well, it's got to be my hashtag strategy. That must be what's missing. Oh, it's got to be my pictures. Oh, it's got to be, the way that I'm arranging my feed, or it's got to be the filter that I'm using, or something like that. It is never, ever, ever those things completely. But it is the things that I'm going to talk to you about right here. So let's just dive in. Number 1, if you are having challenges with your Instagram, or you're just new on your journey and you're trying to figure out, how do I use this platform to connect with people? The number 1 thing that you need to figure out, the number 1 thing you need to evaluate and really take inventory in your social media on is, who are you and what is your message? Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that I follow people on Instagram, and you do the same thing. You just may not know it consciously. You follow people on Instagram who show up as their true, authentic selves, like they're just unapologetic about who they are. This is me, take it or leave it. And you follow people who have a pretty clear message. You follow people for specific reasons. Then once you get into their world, you learn about their dog, and you learn about their business, or whatever it is that they have that they're chatting about in their daily lives. But ultimately, you follow them for a specific reason. So my question to you is, who are you at your natural self? Who is your true self? And is that person on your feed? Is that person in your stories? Are you showing up as yourself on Instagram, or are you editing yourself in some way? So in other words, are you kind of modeling someone else that you've seen that's successful in your company? Are you modeling someone who you think that you need to be like in order to enroll new customers or business builders? that may be fine to start out with, but you're probably never going to grow your account if that's where you stay. So if you've started like that, I would challenge you to maybe get out a piece of paper and figure out, what are the things that make me me? What makes me unique? What am I? Who am I? Who am I around my best friends? If you've listened to this podcast for a while, every once in a while I'll reference, who are you when you sit down on a Saturday night with your best friend and a glass of wine? That's the person I want to see. Like the person who's not afraid of speaking their mind, the person who's not afraid of really letting their personality show. It's the night where, and maybe you've never had this, I guarantee most of you have done this, where you show up in your scuzziest, yoga pants or whatever it is that you wear when you're tired. You've got the top knot on and you show up at your best friend's house with a bottle of wine and you guys just chat. And you might chat until 2 o'clock in the morning. Guys, if you're listening, whatever the equivalent for you is. But ladies, you know what I'm talking about. It's the you that is you. It's when your best friend says, oh yeah, you guys see that about her, but this is who she really is. She's really sassy. She curses every third word. She's hilarious. She just doesn't show that. That's the person that you've got to be on Instagram. And that takes time. So I'm not unsympathetic to that. It takes time to get comfortable. It takes time to get clear on who you really are. However, when that happens, your message also starts to come through. So this is all kind of the umbrella of thing number one. When you're troubleshooting your Instagram, if it is not abundantly clear to your audience what your message is, then we've got some work to do. So my message essentially is that you can use social media to create a life that is something that is exactly what you want. You can use social media to grow your business. You can use Instagram to grow your business. And ultimately, it's a tool to make your life the thing that you have dreamed about. That is my core message. And hopefully that comes through to you. I have had to work on showing up as myself. Just like anything, when you start out, you're not as good at it, that's just the truth. And so there are rare people who are amazingly authentic on day one, but most of us have to learn to be comfortable with who we are and then learn to be comfortable with showing that to other people. That's why this journey, man, it'll expose all your fears. It'll expose all your doubts. It'll expose all of those little things that we try to hide away. But the more you dig deeper, the better. So let me just recap. This is just number one. The thing that I encourage you to do to troubleshoot your Instagram is look at your feed, look at your stories. Are you showing, your personality? Are you showing up as you? And what is your message? If that is not clear, you don't even need step 2, 3, or 4. Work on that. So who are you? Are you showing up as you? And what is your message? Okay, number 2. Number 2 is, what is special about you? What is special about you? There is something that is different about you. And that's really what I mean by the word special. What is different about you? What makes you stand out from everybody else? What makes you the person that someone wants to join? Some people have a hard time answering this because they don't have perspective, or perhaps they have a lack of confidence, or they've never been validated in their life, so they don't believe that there's anything special about them. But I guarantee you that there's something insanely amazing about you. And there is something different about you. You just have to let that shine. Is that, again, you being sassy? Is that a special kind of charisma that you've got? Is it a sense of humor that you have? Is it a unique perspective on the world? Is it a certain, a certain thing that just uniquely is you? When you show up on camera, when you show up in writing, however you show up on Instagram, is your uniqueness coming through? This is hard to figure out on your own. This is very hard to figure out on your own. You will most likely need someone else to talk through this with you. So I would find a friend, find a coach, join my program. I don't care. Find somebody who can give you some perspective on, is your personality and uniqueness coming through? So how do you foster this? Again, I really like writing this stuff out. I've shared with you guys before, I am not I was never in the past a big like journal person, but I figured that when I get to these kind of topics, it's so hard to just think through them without writing them down. So I would recommend, again, getting a piece of paper out and really just brainstorming what is different about me. What have people told me in the past makes me me? Or perhaps interview your best friend. Or I probably wouldn't interview maybe your partner, perhaps, depending on, your relationship with that person and how unbiased they are, but you want an unbiased opinion about what is unique about you. And then encourage yourself, challenge yourself to bring that forward on social media. Again, if you have a certain personality trait, highlight it, turn the dial up on that personality trait instead of turning it down to be like everybody else. So number 2, in troubleshooting your Instagram is what is special about you, what is different and unique about you, and is that coming through? Is there something that you love that you just really want to talk about all the time? Is there something that is firing you up that is unique to you that nobody else is talking about? What makes you you? Let's highlight that. Number 3, the thing that I see so often in people, they have killer content, beautiful pictures, but their energy isn't there. Is your energy showing? That's number 3. Number 3 thing to troubleshoot your Instagram is take an inventory on whether or not your energy is showing. Everybody's got a different energy. Some people are calming. Some people have the feeling of an old soul. Some people are extremely high energy. Some people are silly, goofy, funny. Some people like to dance. Whatever that is your energy being felt through the other side of the camera? And this can only really happen when you get comfortable. But is your sense of humor showing? Is your charisma showing? Again, you might need some outside perspective on this, but most of the time, if your Instagram is not catching with people, it's because you aren't showing enough of you. You aren't showing enough about what's special about you, what's unique about you, and your particular energy. I want to see so much of you that I know what you're like when I meet you in person. That I'm like, oh yeah, this is exactly what they're like on Instagram. This is exactly what she's like. There is zero difference. I know exactly how much we would laugh at a lunch, or I know exactly if we spent a day together, what kind of sense of humor you would have, or what would excite you, what would you want to do. If your audience doesn't really know that kind of stuff about you, then you got to show more of yourself. Just show more of yourself, show more of your energy, and don't be afraid. Like, don't curate that, right? Don't edit yourself in the beginning. Just show more of you, and you will get feedback from people that they like it. Trust me, you'll get people like just DMing you and saying, "Oh my God, this is so fascinating," or "This is so cool," or commenting on whatever you posted about. When you know that you've struck a chord with people, you'll get that feedback. Okay, so number 3 is your energy showing. Number 4, are you posting and ghosting and hoping people find you for, I don't know, out of nothing? Or are you showing up to connect with people? We want to show up on Instagram to connect. I like to give the analogy that Instagram is a massive room where there is a party happening. It's a huge room, and there's lots of corners to this room. I don't know, maybe it's the world's biggest room. And in one corner, there's people having a discussion about vegan nutrition. And in another corner, another group of people are having a discussion about carnivore nutrition. And in another corner, people are talking about hip hop dancing. And in another corner, people are talking about the benefits of vitamin D. And in another corner, some people are talking about all their favorite travel experiences. And in another, you get the idea, right? So you're entering that party. It is the world's massive, biggest party. But you're entering that party room and you're looking for people that are talking about the things that you want to talk about, and you're looking for people who have common interests. You might not be a vegan, but you might want to go hang out in that vegan corner of the room just because it's interesting and there's an interesting conversation going on over there. And then you might want to talk to people about hiking up some big mountain because it's something you've always wanted to do. You have the opportunity to connect with people on Instagram about a whole range of topics. So the question is, are you showing up and inserting yourself in a conversation somewhere? You get to pick what kind of conversation that is. Doesn't necessarily even need to have to do anything with your product or your business opportunity. It could, but you could show up anywhere. Start being a community member. Start being a member of the cocktail party. Have discussions. Talk to people in the DM. I'm not perfect about this, but my goal is to respond to everybody that DMs me. It is hard, and I am not always perfect about it. But most of you, if you have DM'd me at some point I've gotten back to you. Unless it's just been ridiculous. Side note, I don't respond to people who are like, hey, review my profile. I just don't do that. I'm running a business. So I do that for coaching. I don't do that for free in the DM. But otherwise, I have most likely responded to your DM, even if it's just something. I see you. You want the people on Instagram to know that you see them and you are a part of the conversation. A lot of network marketers, unfortunately, don't know how to do that, which to me is so ridiculous because if I put you in an actual party, if I brought you over to my house and I had a party going on, you'd figure out a way to make a conversation, right? You'd figure it out. It's the same thing. It is literally the same thing. All you're doing is having that conversation over the interwebs, on Instagram, in the DM, in the comments, in chat. So troubleshooting your Instagram, step number 4 is, are you just posting something and putting some hashtags there and hoping that people will come to you? Or are you actually talking to people? And it's more than just prospecting them. Yes, you have to make offers. Yes, you can do that in a bunch of different ways. You can make offers in Instagram stories, in your written posts, in the DM, lots of ways to do that. But ultimately, if you're only making offers and you're not actually chatting with people, you're not getting to know people, you're not building trust, you're building likability, it's probably not going to work. Instagram is not like Facebook. Many people I know build their business by cold messaging on Facebook. And whatever your thoughts on that are irrelevant because it works. It does work. It isn't necessarily for everybody, but it does work. It doesn't really work on Instagram. It just doesn't work like that. The community aspect on Instagram is such that people will stalk you and figure out what you're all about, and they just won't respond. I don't know why, but it's just different. It's slightly different. Now, am I saying don't prospect people on Instagram? No, I'm not saying that. But prospecting people out of the blue on Instagram is not going to get you very far. You want to show up with a message. Again, back to troubleshooting question number 1. Who are you and what's your message? You've got a phenomenal message. And when you get that message out and you start talking to people about your message and you start talking to people about the things that you're doing, whether you think they're boring or not, someone else is going to find them fascinating. I follow people who show all sorts of stuff behind the scenes, and I am just fascinated by their lives. I follow people who, just the craziest things. I follow a lot of interior design accounts, but then I get to know these interior designers and kind of learn more about them. And now I'm invested in like their dog's birthday party, right? Or I follow somebody who's renovating their home and I'm super invested in the paint choice that they have on some random project that like, why does this even matter to me? That's when you know that you are talking to your ideal person. Whether they buy or not is not up to you. But when you've figured out that you've got to make that connection and you've got to chat with people and connect on a personal level with people, it becomes more than just posting and waiting for people to reach out. Take those reins and just start talking to people. There's many ways to do this. Tons of different coaches have lots of different things. There's the 333 or comment on 25 different people's stuff. I don't care how you do it. You've just got to set some time aside to reach out and be a human and talk to other people. So let me just very quickly recap. If you are trying to troubleshoot your Instagram, here are the 4 things that I think are most important in order for you to be successful on the platform and connect with other people. That is, get clear on who you are and what your message is. Identify what's special and unique about you and make sure that that is coming through. Make sure your energy, whatever that kind of energy is showing, and that you are authentically showing up on camera. And then make sure that you are spending time connecting with other people. I'm not going to tell you that it only takes 5 minutes or you can do it in an hour a day. You figure out how much time you have to do that. You figure out how much of a priority your business is. I am not going to tell you, oh, it's only 15 minutes a day. No, because if you can connect with more people, the chances of you building more relationships are probably going to go up. But you certainly don't need to spend 8 hours a day on Instagram. And remember, it's a business tool. You get caught scrolling on Instagram for no particular reason, and you are wasting the opportunity to connect with people. So search out people that are interesting to you. There's 100 different ways to do that. Find people all over. Look at who's following other people that you're interested in. Look at geotags for people in your hometown or restaurants that you love. There are billions of people out there. Of course, now I'm talking and my gardener just showed up, so hopefully you guys aren't super distracted by the noise going on. Go find some people, go connect with them, and let me know if this is at all helpful to you. I am so appreciative that you're here spending time with me. If you're listening to this on your iPhone, take a snap, like a screenshot, tag me in it, upload it to your Instagram stories, and let's have a chat in the DM. I'd love to hear how your business is going. Shameless plug at the end. If you are at all thinking about joining me in Social Media Sales Secrets, you should do that now. If you don't know what that is my group coaching program. It is the only coaching that I am doing right now for anybody, and it is awesome group coaching. I do a training every single week. Some are Q&As, some are social media reviews, you name it. We go through all sorts of topics, plus you get access to all the previous trainings that I've ever done, and that is a lot of them. So if you're going to jump in or you've been on the fence, trust me, hint, hint, go do it now. You'll want to do that within the next week because prices are going up. I'll just say that. Okay. Love you guys so much. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed Secrets to Marketing Your Wellness MLM. Before you go though, I have something for you. If you are looking to grow your audience online via social media so that you can have people getting excited about your products and reaching out to you to learn more, then you need my cheat sheet that has 50 health and wellness Facebook Live topics that will attract an audience to you. It also walks you through the secret 4-part formula that you can follow on both Facebook and Instagram that is proven to have people reaching out to you. And when you get it, I am also sending you guys an audio file for those of you who love to listen to the information on the go. You can get both of those things at www.sorayagoddard.com/podcast. Again, that's sorayagoddard.com/podcast. SORAYAGODDARD.com/podcast. Thanks so much. Chat soon.